Left Bucket All is one of the most unsociable game titles known to man, and was the first game created by Takamakaru-ran, and it's exclusively sold at $6.21 at DL site. It is best described as a short-form RPG that takes roughly 3 to 5 hours to complete. While Left Bucket All is one of the roughest in terms of art style and design when it comes to history RPGs, the nation of this made me respect his latest game, A Mercenary Adventure, by leaps and bounds. Whether you should play this game or not lie in your answer to one question. Do you love exploring an undocumented game? If yes, then stop watching now and go play the game, because there's aspects of this game that even after 17 hours and 3 runs, I have no answer for. This video will quickly break down my playthrough, interpretation of the story, and cover most of the endings. Spoilers are beyond this point, you've been warned. This game takes several bold choices for an RPG I wish would be more of a twin in general. There's no overlong introductions, 0 tutorials, and even help to get your bearings. You begin the open prison and the first story beat being the background of your equipment screen. Your class is Challenger, you are a visitor, and tucked away in the status screen you'll learn that you're from a different world. When you first leave the prison, you really aren't running into anything to stop you from just getting outside. Except all around you are these little weird variants of yourself called natives, something I didn't find out until my 3rd playthrough on ad. They sell you things that you can not afford or just say hi. And that's your beginning, right? That's your lot. I've completed this game before and remember that there was a party member that will be your heal bot. You can unlock her without the smash build like I did, but don't, because it does amazing damage throughout the course of this game and 2 turns this slime fight. Well, a slime buddy who just slap foes and heals, a limited resource in the game might add. We clear out the first area. Another bold choice in this economy where you get healing for free from some mobs, but the money is tight in this game. One too many posters of medicine can leave you missing out on upgrades that are essential for your first party run. Since there's a limited number of encounters in this game, meaning that the grind in this game will be a breeze, but it leads to a feeling like linear and area progression despite being open. Clearing out the area is announced to you and allows you to talk to your party members for drips of lore, minus slimes who does some cute things in the background. The next area we're gonna call is just Slime Forest. It's mindless somebody healing you, but shows off what else can happen when you clear an area. You're able to fight a boss. Word of advice, avoid the slime boss. Oh, it's a defense check of a boss who uses multi-group attacks that will just grind to dirt unless you get your defense up. I decided to explore and show off what happens when you get into a fight that isn't the mountains or the first 5 floors of the tower in the older game. I head up to the mountains. Well, you can get your next party member. Bo is a berserker world with good speed, medium damage, sweeping, and multi-attacks at the cost of HP, and in the mid-game can take 2 turns to double effectiveness that tend to drop off around that stage. You can also get the ignition machine that gleefully doesn't tell you that you needed to get access further into the slime forest. Further ahead, there's some more wet slimes. Worth fighting for the hill limes alone, with the last easy party member being just up ahead. In the spider's cave, the mobs don't chase you, and all you need to do is chat with her. No fight needed. This is because Spider can speak English, which brings me to the first expert-only question. What did the translation machine do? It's something that you gain while talking to an isolated NPC, and Spider Lines implies that someone isn't speaking English. There's no footage I can collect where collecting the device change any dialogue on my second one without it. Spider's your mage with spells that cost MP for either good multi-hit moves or buffs to a broken in this game, which she gets mid-game. Now you have a full party, which means taking on the slime boss should be possible if you clear the forests in the mountains. And then clearing the spider's cave is a terrible grind, but will help. This boss is an endurance waste, but the reward is the easiest grind in the caves with the side of questions. What do the body parts do? If I had to guess, it is only used as a flag in the story to mark your progress. For example, I'm sure defeating the slime boss unlocks another interact, which is what the issue seems like hidden but careful. By the first interaction broke the game every time I did this, and I had to skip the start almost every time. I have like multiple footages of this happening. I only eventually end up walking at the very end if you just skip through everything. After this, I clear out the mountains in the caves, and I'm pretty sure I'm sitting pretty good on both levels and supplies. This leaves you 2 bosses that you've been warned about beforehand, the giant board and spider. Giant spiders just unlocks tanky boys to fight with an amazing item, while board gives you access to a medium grind and a new party member. If you know the dogs and find the hidden passion of flowers, you can choose to have Gorilla to replace someone in your party. Because Gorilla fills the roles of a paladin with good defense, hard hidden attack, and a side of solo healing and buffs. A real debuff is that she's weak to fighting human mobs despite having access to smash move, and her smash move is a bit nerfed compared to the main protagonist. This would be a good time for you to go to the 20 floors of the tower to gain access to your last 2 party members. I just forgot and decided to go back to base to interact with my party. At this point, you'll be able to access the town. I consider one of the most important and biggest word hearings when it comes to the story of this game. The town has the most text in this game with character-specific events, NPCs talking about their version of politics, and even unique human portraits. So why isn't this where the story finally opens up? In both character-specific event is implied that the information is being fed into our character brain, and this is solidified by going to one of the NPCs and just hearing static. Due to how what none of the town folks speaks about ever shows up again, we're going to glaze over them when analyzing the story. But we'll mark that wasting a lot of interesting potential in this town could have had. With nothing gained or lost, I decided now would be a good time as any to go defeat the big spider boss. It takes 2 times because this is the first boss that has a mishift with increased stats. All the late game bosses do this. Defeating the big spider puts us in the mid game now. This is where the next 3 areas grind rough regardless of how you do it. You can either fight the turtle tanks or the attack dogs. I chose the dogs since I'm only missing 1 dog to clear out the area, and every playthrough the turtles were the low point even with busting out any strategies I could use. You might decide that you can fight the big dog for this grind, but no, this big dog is the second toughest fight in the game. This is the 3rd area, and it's against groups of decently bulky guys who drop a near walls item. This is a TP gaining item. It wishes that you can get every turn if that stays post battle, but really has no use yet. We both might hate it, but there's no escape from the total grind. Between the grind and now, I went to the floor 10 of the tower and picked up a party member that I don't think we'll ever use, which is human. In the tower, you'll have to fight a tough single enemy human who is weak to the character's smash attacks and resistant to everything else. Out of all the characters, she feels the most tragically designed and broken in all the wrong ways. She's a gunslinger whose 6 MP represents a bullet that she can fire. She meant to deal high damage, but have a high chance of missing with limited resources in exchange. In reality, her damage can help with most of your party. She gives you equipment for talking to her, like the Metal Pipe 4, which is the only usable equipment I could attain for her. Oh, and it only increases her chance of hitting her relatively mid damage. It also gives you a metal snail in late game, but it doesn't appeal to in her equipment page. More on that in a bit. For now, just know that the human you meet in the snowfields after clearing the turtles isn't Will. This is another glitch, because I haven't gotten her yet. This reminded me of I need to go get her. The big turtle is a cakewalk when you have the gorilla dishing out nearly 3 times the damage everyone else in one turn. Once he's out the way, the shopkeeper will replace him, finally allowing me to upgrade my character equipment with enough money to buy 2 healing potions that heal 50%. My cup wanted double. At this point, my healing supplies are running slim, but there's only one area separating us from in-game to Long Lake. Long Lake is the longest area of the game. I'm not talking about the grind, which should be easy with your level and equipment. This area is just kind of annoying to walk through, like literally. From the last cave to the point where you can save, it's over to 3 to 4 minutes of just pure walking, which can add up if you're trying to uncover every secret in the game. Speaking of secrets, the big fish hides a massive one in her drop. Every boss alongside the body part that acts as a marker, which mentioned earlier, drops a single-use item that gives massive healings or buffs. Big Fish drops an item that gives you Undying, which automatically resurrects you, and in testing, does not seem to expire in the battle that is used. You should use it on the final boss after finishing the last caves. The last cave is different, as it's a straight line of tough mid-bosses in every room, with the penultimate room being a gauntlet. It's tough, but you need every edge you can get. One of the ways to get a massive edge is to go defeat the big dog, which will still give you one for your money. I just barely won with a team of Spider, Board, and Slime as meat shields while whacking away with Visitor. Gorilla instead of Slime with Cheese's fight. The real cheese comes in later playthrough. Yeah, the big dog does a single-use items and drop a piece of equipment that is the only armor equipment that you can equip, like to your party, that increase the attack. Like this game has such limited things that you can have that like this is the only one. Otherwise, like after some more interactions and searching for all over for anything else to do, I head to the last place left to deal with the mid bosses. My advice in these fights are to use the defensive buff that the visitor gets because it makes every mini boss like make you take less damage. If you keep that buff up and throughout the course of the semi-final gauntlets, focus on just one person because 4 of them can wear you down faster than one super buff person. Out of the 4, the warrior or the thief gets my choice for the wolf to deal with, and then you have to choose your poise between why you want to deal with high damage or someone who will whiff on you a lot, or someone who you will whiff on a lot. Story-wise, at this point, your party has some reservations about going ahead, but are clearly hiding something from you. Upon reaching the final boss, everyone feels rightfully wary about it and is warning you the native stops by to let you do some last-minute shopping. This won't help. I would recommend right now that you pop fish 2 that you get from the big fish and prepare for the hardest boss fight in the game has to offer. Specifically the first phase demands buffs and the hardest hidden tactics you can use to counter it over the 3 stages to wear it down. It took me 2 attempts because I accidentally closed the game. The best team for your first playthrough will be Fox, Gorilla, and Spider, who can all damn rush the boss. Who's Fox? That was somebody I didn't have at this point. It took 10 minutes and it was managing life and buff between just slamming the boss. After that, the room was filled with natives with a new person to save the game before progressing to the final stage of the boss. This is where you can save. Also, right? And imagine having to walk from this place to another place where you can save. And that's how that walk alone takes like 4 minutes. At this point, I gave up getting explosives and it's just walking. There's no enemies. It's so weird. With a bunch of healing items that I don't use, I dive down to a boss befitting a cutscene, by which I mean a giant HP punch. Don't let the massive number fool you into thinking this is going to be quick. Single multi-target attacks are king because how terrible this boss defense is, but those types of moves are on limited supply. Oh, and also whatever you do, don't be like me and give Slime the undying pulp. Her slaps aren't buff enough, and with my terrible team, it was another 10-minute fight that felt like it lasted years. In the game, we're fighting as roughly 30 seconds to 3 minutes versus some bosses. Once you're done, the natives just pack up and dashes, and that's all the fighting in this game covered at this point. It's just doing things to get the ending, which finally gives you some answers. My thoughts on it, it was functional with enough exploits to make experimenting fun, but with nothing groundbreaking. There's so many ways to spice up these types of combat systems, but the easiest one that I can think of is to give more debuffs and specialization. Too many people in the party felt like they was focused on doing damage in ways that overlapped with everyone else. Also, you might have thought that I was being hyperbolic about the walk, but no. From the last cave to the save place, it's just 5 minutes of just walking. After getting an alert about how the situation changed, you can march your way to an ending. If you return to the tower, you can then access all 50 floors of it. Before this point, fighting your way beyond floor 20 was worthless, and I decided to finally snatch up 5 more of a whole later before just leaving the planet to go on floor 30. This ending is super cute about you getting an adventure with your waifus. It's the easiest ending to get, and ironically the second happiest one that you can get. Next up, we decide to join Team Wed, which includes fighting 3 waves of Team Wed. The Team Wed ending shows them when building society and discovering that they're all just males. So how do you think about fixing this? After some heart-stoppingly gory image of your friends being experimented on, like seriously, I can't even show or describe this. While your friends are being main beyond recognition, these guys are dancing because they created artificial life. The visitor's rewards for this is an underwater base we can hide forever. He's now a wanted man. Why? Because Team Ending is just as bad with some implication. Team Blue Ending starts with your character getting in the country room with the first guy you can speak to, telling you take it easy, you're doing well. You'll be on him to see doors where your friends are being researched, leading you to think for the worst, but it is for the worst. Here you can see the blue guys interact with your friends, leading to some really well drawn into your art that I really won't be able to show off. We also get the most text in the entire game explaining what's going on. If we enforce the breeding problem and states your friends to be treated as sex slaves and this treats us all like a scientific necessity, essentially. More importantly, it shows that you're on Team Blue all along and doesn't clear up the whole virtual world discussion. The next ending is kind of difficult at times, but by getting in a fight with Team Wed and then winning Team Blue, you can fight both sides. This isn't another cutesy ending with one of your team members and yourself going on sea adventures, distracting yourself from what you did, as the last screen showed like a flight of ships coming down to the planet. And yo, Fearless AP here. Sorry for the abrupt ending to this. It's just this has taken well over a month of my life, and I want to do so much more, as the original premise of the video, if you can watch the beginning, will tell you. You made this far, thank you, I appreciate you. And you should know that the next project will be a ghost. I'll show an image of it on screen, along with the amount of effort that this took to get all the way through production, because I still have to go back through it and do some more censoring, and even what I have right now after all this time, I feel like a pretty competent video, but not one that is worth a month of effort. So next time I hope with our ghost is something more simple. Another one with her tits randomly out on the screen, so that's gonna be fun. I always will edit around. But yeah, appreciate the wait, and yeah, this will be advertised, so fingers crossed on how that does. And 2.0. If you've seen this before, then unfortunately the reason why it was taken down and then we uploaded was because a lot of the censor balls was out of whack and in the wrong place and not strong enough. So thank you, Azurelanes, appreciate you. I'll make sure to credit you in the comments too. And this last little extended bit, if you notice the time being different.